Welcome to another episode of Dad Smokes Meats. For this episode, we're actually going to go back to the start, and we're trying to make things easy. I know when I wanted to start smoking, I was scared. I was scared about buying an expensive hunk of meat and then ruining it. So if that's where you are right now, we're going to make this super simple for you. What I suggest is to start with a pork loin. You can get these at your supermarket. We got ours at Costco. This is about a 6.5 pound pork loin, and we got it for like 15 bucks. So even if we ruin it, which we won't, we're not out a whole lot, and we're going to make a great piece of meat. So start with a nice pork loin. You take it out of the package. There's going to be a lot of juices. We're going to damp it dry, and we're going to go off with a nice, easy rub. And again, with the semblance of making things easy, we're not even going to trim this. We're going to keep all the fat on here and keep everything the way it is. The one thing that I would maybe suggest then, for the fat side, we're going to go score it. And so get a nice sharp knife, and we're just going to score through. It doesn't have to go through deep. This will make sure that those seasonings that we put on make it all the way through, and that fat renders down a little bit in the smoke as well. Other options, if you feel like trimming off some of the fat, try to keep on about an eighth to a fourth of an inch of the fat in there for flavor. And when we smoke this, we're actually going to smoke it fat side up. So when that fat does render, it renders down into the meat and keeps it nice and juicy. So that's all we got to do on the fat side. For our seasonings, again, you can even just go to your supermarket and get a generic pork seasoning. That's going to be great. But if you want to use something that you have in your house, we've got all the easy stuff here. So what I went ahead and did is 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar, and then 1 teaspoon of the following. You got black pepper, you've got your sea salt, you've got your onion powder, paprika, and garlic powder. And that's really all you need. So I've already actually combined all those dry ingredients in here to make a rub. Now, mine was a little bit larger, so I actually doubled up the recipe on the seasonings. And I'll probably have some more left over that I'll just keep for the next time that I do any pork recipe. So to prepare this, we're not going to smoke this for a couple hours. I want this seasoning to set in. And so we're going to get it all seasoned. We're going to let it rest in the fridge. And about a half hour before I need to smoke it, I'm going to pull it out of the fridge, let it rest at room temperature. And at the same time, then I can get the smoker all prepped and ready to go. We're going to smoke this pork today at 225. It should take roughly 2.5 hours. And then we're going to rest it for about 15 to 20 minutes before slicing it up and having it for dinner. So we're going to start with a binder for this seasoning. We want all the seasoning to stick. I take olive oil and put it in a squeeze bottle, a squirt bottle, because it's going to be easier to apply. And you can just apply it on here. We're going to make sure it's coated on all that side. Flip it over. Same thing here. Same thing. Just make sure that sets on the whole loin. And since we're going to be resting it with the fat side up, we'll start on this side with our seasoning. And you want to get this seasoning everywhere. Kind of coat the whole thing. You are going to make a mess. So guys out there, don't let the wives have to do all the cleaning. So once you're all done with your seasoning, clean up the countertop for her, because it is just going to get a little messy. So make sure that is all coated. Get your sides as well, and I'll do that once I flip it over here. I'm not going to have a whole lot left over. That's good. Back here too. All right. So now our pork is all seasoned. And like I said, we're going to let this sit and rest. Let these seasonings soak in. That salt that's in there is going to draw some of the moisture out. And then it's going to suck it back in. So we can keep that moisture into the meat. And we'll be ready to smoke here in a couple hours. All right. So we did get the pork out about 30 minutes ago. Let it sit and rest for a little bit, get up to some temp. We're actually going to cook this a little bit faster. We ran short on time, so we bumped it up to 275. If it hovers between that 275 down to up to 290, obviously right now, but we'll keep an eye on the temp. Maybe we need to take it down any. So, like I said, fat cap up. Got the meat thermometer in here. We want to get this to 145. So 145 internal temp, and then we're going to take it out. And that's all we're going to do. We're not even going to spritz it. Again, the plan here is simple. So keep it on smoker, get to 145, we'll bring it in, let it rest. All right, so we ended up actually taking it back down to 225. It was cooking a little too fast, and as you can hear, the timer is going off. So got everything. She looks great. I've got a thing of foil that I'm going to bring out. Let's get this thermometer out. And we're just going to get this out onto a pan. Maybe should have brought some heat gloves because this guy's pretty big. Oh, yeah. Then we're just going to cover this. Let it sit for 15, 20 minutes while the sides are finishing cooking, and we'll give it a slice. Okay, so our sides are all finished, so we're ready to eat. Now we just got to slice up the meat. We let it rest for a little over 20 minutes. I will say, wish we would have been able to cook it slower, longer. I think we got a little bit better of a crust, but again, easy. It still works. You're still going to have a great taste on the pork here. So let's cut into it and see what it looks like. Oh yes, lots of juices retained in there. This is going to be perfect. Nice and easy is what you want. So you're going to be able to use whatever you want as your seasonings. Also, you don't even have to make a sauce. Just go get a barbecue sauce from the store. So we got this one. This is going to be something new for us, and it's going to be delicious. So anyone can use a smoker, and even if you mess something up, start with something cheap like a pork loin, and so you're not wasting a lot of money.